Hey, on the clock fans, you're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're on the clock.
What's going on the clock, fans? We're live. Where we live at? We're live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube.
We're live everywhere.
Facebook. Anybody that's got a freaking phone, app, or whatever, we're pretty much there, man. I'm pretty excited, man. I haven't done anything all day today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had a good, non-productive day.
What about today's you? My birthday,
and as shall it be. I was gonna bring that up right after this, but. Let's just jump into that, huh?
I had a great day today. Did a little golfing, spent time with the kids and the fam. Had a great dinner. Now I get to do this podcast tonight.
It's gonna be beautiful, man. We got a couple things we got to talk about. That's gonna be, we got to put it out there. And don't forget our boy from ASA Miami, our guy William McDonald will be joining us a little bit here, man. Join us to give us his 1 and 2s. I don't know about him. I feel like he has a social media assistant because he's very fast.
He has to.
Oh my God.
He is almost as quick as Adam Schefter with his tweets and his posts.
I give you that. You know what? That's actually pretty accurate of how fast he is, because he tweets really fast and he puts his comments out there really fast. Not to mention he's a North Carolina fan and a Patriot fan. He's not totally all there, but he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. And again, as far as agenda-wise, we're going to talk a little about – we got a packed agenda. We're going to talk a little about the Hall of Fame, MLB, Bond, Sosa, Clemens. Are they ever going to get in? We're going to talk about Stafford. Where does he end up going? We got some predictions here. I know, Raul, you had a great placement for him in this.
Every once in a while, I can squirt that out, buddy.
Is this Brady's best Super Bowl run? We're going to break this down. We're also going to break down the Chiefs offense versus the Bucs defense in a part. There's going to be a 3-part series where we break down different aspects of the game leading into the Super Bowl. The Florida OC just recently got hired as the quarterback coach for the Eagles. We're going to tell you exactly what that means for Wentz or for Jalen Hurts. Candace Parker is leaving LA. She's heading back home to her hometown in Chicago. We're going to talk about it. The QB musical chairs, the clock is ticking.
Just continues. Just keeps going.
Right. We're going to break down the potential quarterbacks that are going to hit the free agent market. Where do we think each one lands, and what's that going to look like? Man, it's a jam-packed show. I want to ask you first, how have you been since we last talked over the weekend? How's your day been? How's your week been? Just how are you doing, brother?
I've had, like I told you, a non-productive day. It's been pretty good. I don't know if I want to share this with you, but I think I'm going to.
Oh, please do.
And you know what's funny? I used to listen to talk radio shows and podcasts, and I'm like, I don't think I'd ever talk about my life. But I don't think I'd ever bring my private in. But there's really, it's not because we don't have content. It's not because we're bored. Let me tell you about my 10-year-old son. Okay?
Jaden, is this Jaden, right?
This is Jaden.
Which by the way, before and again, we've been friends for a while.
Yeah.
We have 2 kids. You have 4.
Yeah.
I have 2.
Thank you for that.
But we have both of our kids have the same name, spelled differently. Differently. But again, we have each one of us has a Jaden. We didn't plan it. We didn't even know it. It's again how life brings us to friendship.
And this is where
he's one of my favorites.
Your Jaden is the good Jaden. My Jaden is not so much.
What do you do?
I've told you this since the day this kid was born. I am worried every day for this kid.
You have, because you've told me he's a charmer. He's a smooth of your kids. He is the smoothest.
This is the
one
kid
when it comes to talking.
Never have to work a day in his life but drive a Corvette. You know what I'm saying? Like he has that good. God loves him that much. But today he got suspended from school.
He got what?
Yep, he got suspended from school. My
Oh,
son will be
no.
home with me all day.
Oh, how many days? Hold on. How many days he get suspended for?
He only got 1 day.
He got one day. Okay,
He got
so
one
it
day.
could have been that egregious of an
No,
offense.
no, it wasn't. It's more of a. So this is the thing. So he goes to school with kids that he knows from his youth football team, right? I've told you about a kid named Kobe, right?
Yeah,
One
I
of-
remember Kobe.
I've coached a lot of great kids, but this kid is one of my favorite ones because Kobe is going to give it to you. I mean, raw, real. He's going to be.
He's authentic. What you
Bro,
would
he
say.
pulls no
He's authentic.
punches. What? Yeah, he doesn't pull no punches whatsoever.
Again, now, for the audience that doesn't know the kids, again, we're up to quite a bit of viewers right now on the show. How old is Jayden?
Jayden is 10 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
Kobe, how old is Kobe?
Kobe is 10 years old.
All right, so they're the
Right.
same age. Okay.
Same age kids. They're in the lunchroom, right? And they of course they know each other. They're gonna play around. They do it at the field too. They're just buddies, okay?
Right.
Well, this particular day, they decide that they're gonna hit each other with rubber bands.
Okay. It's a boy
Now,
thing to do.
It's a boy thing to do. They're athletes. They're running around the freaking cafeteria doing this. So for whatever reason, they decide I'm gonna shoot this freaking rubber band, right? And I'm gonna shoot this rubber band at him. He's gonna shoot the rubber band. So my son takes a good point. Kobe takes a good point. He shoots. And for whatever reason, they fired on each other at the same time.
Okay.
Well, whenever you're in war, there's a thing called friendly fire.
Oh boy. So who got caught in the crossfire?
The teacher or whoever
What?
was there freaking steps in the middle of this while the rubber bands are coming.
Oh no.
And she gets whacked in the face with this one.
They would call this getting tattooed.
She got tattooed, bro. So you would think that would be it. That's the reason why he got.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be it.
It's over.
I mean,
That's
you
it.
hit a teacher with a shooting rubber band in the face.
Yeah.
In the face.
Without today's society I'm surprised he wasn't freaking
go to jail.
expelled. Yeah. Mr. Toscano, come pick him up. He's on Orient Road. You know, come pick up your fucking
Charges
son.
of
He has
first
potential
attempted
active
murder.
shooter of rubber bands. So
Should have been a
but
lockdown.
if school goes locked down. That's not what he got suspended for, though.
Okay.
No,
What
no,
is
no,
this
not my.
for?
So this is how I know his mother was like, "He's your son. You deal with him." When they fired this rubber band, and it hit the teacher, both of them yell out, "Oh shit!"
And they're 10.
And they're 10 years old. And you know how it happens in real life. When they said it, he said the whole cafeteria got quiet. It was silent in the whole cafeteria. So you can hear him say,
Oh yeah, so it's like a pin needle drop.
Jesus.
Everybody heard it.
So they suspended him for 1 day for that. That's what he got suspended for. Which again, not a huge criminal offense, but there's always something with this kid. You know what I mean? Like this, I have to constantly watch him.
Have you told the story of what happened to Jordan when he came over to the house for the game?
No, I didn't tell the story.
So for the people that didn't listen, so we're hanging out by the kitchen table, and Michelle, my wife, offers Keisha, Raul's wife, a drink. Oh, you want a Truly? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll try one. So Michelle goes in and gets a Truly, and again, a Truly is an alcoholic drink. It's a free drink. So, but again, Jordan, which again, how old is Jordan? Jordan's 11,
13.
12,
13.
okay, 13 years old.
13, yeah.
So, Michelle gives Keisha the drink, and Keisha takes it. Oh, it tastes all right. She was like, it tastes okay. Jordan grabs the drink and takes a swig of it. Now, he legit thought this was like a Powerade
or root beer, or
root beer.
He thought it was like a Red Bull or something. He thought it was like an energy drink. Yeah,
yeah. He thought it was something normal. Did not have alcohol. The four of us as parents are freaking out because he's chugging it.
I mean, he took a good fucking.
Yeah, he did.
swig.
I know he did. It
He took
reminded
a
me of
good
the swig of the beer that I gave him when he was 9.
Yeah, with an FBU.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look, and to your defense, they did go to sleep immediately afterwards.
Immediately, so it worked. It
It
worked.
definitely worked. It happened when I was a kid. So, but this is what I have to worry about with this one. And he's just.
But you know
all over
what?
the place, man.
1 day suspension. At least it's not too bad. It's first of all. So hold on. As I say that,
Yeah.
I'm also saying it was over a curse word.
Yes.
Really?
So listen, you see how you're saying that? She calls me and tells me he's suspended. And I was
Why?
like, oh my, and I was like, okay, what'd he do? Who'd he punch? What was the
Right.
fight for? She goes,
Right.
no. He cussed today. Yeah, well, all right, well, tell him I'll see him at home. See him at home. You need to discipline him. You need.
Yeah, you remember that Kevin Hart stint
Yeah.
where he's telling the wife,
Go in there and
you go beat his ass.
I felt, but listen, man, she thought, why are you not taking this seriously? I was like, I mean, he got caught cussing. Like, it wasn't like he got caught, selling candy, or not even candy, selling freaking grams of cocaine in the goddamn school. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid got suspended
You would
for.
think the rubber band would have been the egregious act that got, like, if you told me he got a day for, he was shooting rubber band,
smacked the teacher with a rubber band.
and the teacher got caught in the crossfire. All right,
Right.
that's worth the day.
Right.
The cursing,
Not so much.
I don't necessarily know.
That's what I'm saying. So this is where he I didn't take it very seriously because, I don't know if I told you the story about Corvette. I don't think I told you about this yet. If I told you this,
No. But
I snuck up on him one time, and this is where I knew he has a cursing problem. I snuck up on him one time, and I yanked the chair back just to scare him, and I go, and I scare him, like how dads do. I scream really loud.
Right. Oh yeah, I do it all the time to my kids.
Right. So the first thing he does, he goes, bitch, like that. So he looks at me, he goes, Corvette. TikTok video that you just
He tried to play it off.
He goes,
Trying to play like it was a TikTok video.
Corvette. I was like, hey man, come on, man. You can't cuss, bro. You can't, stop cussing.
That is
Right.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
So that's the kid.
Real quick, want to shout out your mom. She's joined the show.
She's
joined the show. She wished me happy birthday.
Go to bed already.
She's wishing me
Why
happy
do you always
birthday.
have to bring up my mom? You know how many followers she's gonna get now? Jesus.
Chris
Go to
Rivera,
bed,
what's up,
Bill.
man? Appreciate the happy birthday shout out. Again, G&G. I know they got tryouts coming up.
They do,
this
man.
weekend. So if you guys are looking for a flag football team, again, 14U, 18U to go play some flag football on.
The 707. Don't
707.
get those guys taking offense now. G&G is
Yeah,
not.
If you get it twisted.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. You'll have guys
Hit up
giving
Chris Rivera, G&G. Good. It's a good league for a good team for sure to definitely play.
Absolutely. And Chris Rivera is a very, very, very good DC. He takes care of the kid. Takes care of those kids. I'm telling you right now.
That's what matters.
That's what matters. And it's hard to find here in Tampa.
It is. That's a hard thing to do. Coaches that truly care about the kids, not just what they can do for them.
Exactly.
Now, talk about people that did a whole lot and not getting any recognition. We're going to talk about the MLB Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And I'm going to kick this off here with you because I want to get your opinion.
Yeah, man.
Rogers, Clemens, and Sosa. They're part of one of the biggest part of our lifetime as far as sports, what they did, what they meant to sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I tuned into baseball specifically to see was Sosa or McGuire going to hit a home run that day.
Yeah.
Right. Was Roger going to strike out 19 people that day?
Yeah.
Right. All three of them have been, you and I were actually talking about this today about TikTok shadow banning people, right? Where they don't show up on your feeds, they don't put your videos, right?
Shadow banned by Major League Baseball.
That's exactly what's happening to them. That is the 2021 equivalent
man.
Of what's happening today. Are they ever going to make the Hall of Fame?
I don't think they will, man. I hope they do, but I can't say never. Things change. People might change. Opinions might change. Those things.
Pete Rose ain't in it yet.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's ever going to be.
He was different because he was gambling on games.
Offense. Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that's different than performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. But I don't know, man. Like you said, I love watching Barry Bonds play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge baseball guy, right? I'm not a huge guy that loves baseball and watches all the time. But I do love the game. And I do appreciate it when we had those stars playing. All those guys were in there playing. We've talked about it before, too. When Sosa and McGuire were making their run, the same person, who the person that was making a run, but he got injured that year?
Who?
Was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. And Griffey, Griffey, there's a reason why I picked up a baseball bat.
Oh, my God.
It was a swing.
I
The
love
swing,
it.
the way he held the bat, the way he got, approached the mound.
The way he walked to first when he saw that ball. Oh my God. But again, another guy that I love watching was Barry Bonds. I just love watching Barry Bonds play, man. And it's unfortunate, but I don't think they'll get in. I don't know what they got to do to get in. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's
know.
anything they can do to get in besides the writers and the people that have a vote
Right.
giving and allowing someone in the steroid era,
Yeah.
right, to get in. Alex Rodriguez got to be another guy that's going to be talked about.
And that's
in
what I'm
that
saying.
same
With the
that same realm.
speculation of the steroid stuff, they might not never get in, man. They're gonna take it as they cheated. You know what I'm saying? And they might never get in. They never get in. These guys were serious athletes.
And again, baseball is a very historic game, right?
It is.
Everybody talks about it's America's pastime.
It is.
And I understand that. But I will say something as well. Baseball was more entertaining during that era than any other era that I can recall.
And why is that? Why was it because of all the stars? Because again, I watch baseball now, and there's stars there. There's beasts, there's animals, there's studs, whatever you want to call them.
To me nowadays is watered down.
I do too, man. I do
watered
too.
down. To me now, it's more of a pitching 1-0, 2-0 game. And again, so here's and again for everybody that watches sports or that you don't. Here's the equivalent. Would you rather see a football game in 3-0? Or would you rather see a football game in 38-35? It's still a 3-point game. It's still a field goal to win it. But most fans are going to want to see an exciting offensive game than see a 3-0 football defensive game. Now, again, coaches may enjoy the 3-0 game more, right? Because of the scheming and everything else that goes behind the scenes of preparing for a game. Right. But to the regular fan, 38-35 is, you're going to say, man, that's a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
That's what's missing in baseball. You have too many of those 1-0 baseball game. It's like, for example, the same thing with hockey. Hockey's become more exciting because now guys are scoring 4, 5, 6, 7 goals.
Yeah.
In the game.
You're getting your money's worth now.
You get your money worth is watching a 1-0 game or a 0-0 game going to overtime and end 1-0.
Well, anybody watches hockey just wants to see the fight. We don't care about the freaking 4 goals. We want to drink the big cups of beer, and we just want to see guys get smacked across the glass.
Right. So I think in today's baseball is more of a defensive game, and I think the average fan enjoys more of a home run hitting back to back. Where batters are hitting subpar 300.
It was exciting to see. Like on a Tuesday, Barry Bonds is going to go.
Right. He hit 3 home runs. And then on Wednesday, you want to see McGuire's going to match it. You want to see Spencer's going to match it. And all these people are like, well, you're naming all the guys that had steroids. Well, then, if steroids made baseball fun, should it be allowed? Should it be allowed?
Does it make you hit a baseball further? Does it make you have better eye-hand coordination? Who knows?
IQ. It's an IQ level. Supposedly it enhances the batters. But again, the batters are already a disadvantage.
Yeah.
When you have a pitcher that's throwing the ball at 97 miles an hour from 60 feet away, right, where milliseconds that it takes you to realize what's happening, what ball's being thrown, it's a snap decision. Why not?
Like does the whole now? Here's a good thing. Here, not a good thing, but here's something. Since Barry Bonds and them had a speculation of cheating, right? Because he never officially said he did it, right? Speculation of doing it, right?
It was never proven that he did.
What about the team that was caught cheating for the World Series?
Stealing signs.
All those guys you cannot get into Hall of Fame baseball because you all participated in it.
You did.
Your manager knew about it. Your baseball coach,
players knew about it.
The players knew about it. Everybody knew how to do it. Everybody in the organization, and when I say organization, I mean base that handles the baseball side of it. As far as on the field, they had to have known about it. You created it. So these guys got caught cheating. They're officially cheating. So none of those guys should be entered into the Hall of Fame.
Because if you take a steroid, you still have to execute unknowingly what's going to happen. You still know what pitch is going to be pitched.
Right.
A situation where in that scandal, in that situation, you knew what pitch was going to be thrown because you stole the sign.
You stole the sign.
So you knew it was going to be a slider outside corner.
They banged the drum 2 times. It was a fastball or whatever it was, right? They banged the drum.
They had their own signal to tell the batter what was coming.
Right.
So
So all those guys on that team, coaching
And
staff,
if you're going to treat Barry
does.
Bonds, Clemens, in that type of, magnifying glass, I think that Astros team is in the same boat.
Yeah, you're out of there. Okay. Well, we're under agreement.
So
Good.
here's a question I got for you.
Okay.
Florida's OC
Oh God.
just got named
Yeah, I heard about
the
that.
quarterback coach for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And right now, Fred Powell, or Fred Sanford,
Whatever name he goes by, because we don't know his name. We don't know his real government name.
Fred right now is probably like whatever.
What does that mean for the Eagles, though? Does that mean they're going Wentz? Or does that mean they're going Hurts? Because they're bringing on a college guy
To take care of the
to
quarterback.
be the guy that handles the quarterback position as far as training him, developing him, mentoring him. What is that? Does that tip a hand?
Eagles. Who's the head coach of the Eagles?
Can't say that I know. Can't say I know that's an important name.
I haven't either. I have no idea who the Eagles head coach is right now. Didn't Peterson leave? Didn't he get fired?
Peterson and the Eagles agreed to part ways.
They agreed to part ways, right? So let me get this straight. We have a quarterback coach, but no head coach. You know what I mean?
You would think that's ass backwards.
That's a little bit. You would think that because what if the new head coach is like, I don't want this guy.
I don't want this guy at all.
I don't want this freaking clown.
Well, hold on. So this past Sunday, Nick Sirianni.
That's right. Nick Sirianni, the Colts offensive coordinator guy, right?
The Colts offensive coordinator. That's correct. Was named the head coach. So he's bringing on this Florida OC to be the quarterback coach. What does that mean for Wentz? Or because earlier the speculation was, okay, because of the guy they brought in as the OC, he was a Phillip Rivers fan.
Yeah, he was.
So that meant Wentz was going to stay. Now they're bringing a college guy up, right? Which Kyle Trask. Does Kyle Trask have Wentz similarities? Or does he have Jalen Hurts similarities? Because you got to think about how Dan Mullen used him.
Do they trade away Wentz and Jalen Hurts for Trask?
Ooh.
No, you know what? I throw it out there. It's probably never going to happen.
That's a lot of money.
I threw it out there just to screw.
Yeah, this show predicts futures a lot of times. Okay,
I'm like the Simpsons right now. But you know what? I would think, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the people want to comment and tell me. I would think you bring a college coach who's dealing with kids on a daily basis, or not kids, dealing with younger men that he's been grooming for the NFL. You think that they brought him along to maybe groom Jalen Hurts?
I have to agree, because to me, if you bring a college guy, it's because you want to be relatable to the college player you have on your team.
Right.
You want to develop him in that type of mold. And if you look at the offense that Florida ran, it was a spread offense, a little bit of read option, but not a whole lot. But I think it's meant more for Jalen Hurts than it is for Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz, to me, is an under center guy that needs play action pass, bootleg waggles. He needs your traditional pro. Well, I know we were talking about this.
Jesus. Fucking pro.
He needs your typical right, twins left, flex type of offense, where Jalen Hurts is more of he's his own read, pull, read, throw, RPO type of stuff, which is what college football is. So if you bring a college OC up to the NFL to coach your quarterback specifically, to me, that's a dead sign. Carson Wentz is on his way out of Philadelphia. And that name gets added to our quarterback carousel that we already have.
Which, by the way, we could with a good transition into that. But yeah, you would think that they bring the guy from Florida up. He's got to groom Jalen Hurts, and if he's not grooming Jalen Hurts, one of the two can't stay. Do both these guys stay in Philadelphia?
There's no way.
There's no way, right?
Listen, no.
I mean, I know Jalen Hurts can make anything work after the Tua situation.
Yeah,
true.
You know what I mean?
He can make it.
So you think about Florida. Florida had Trask, but they also had Emory Jones that came in.
They did.
And they had this 2 quarterback type of system that, seemed to work at Florida.
But do you want that for your Eagles? You want
it doesn't work in the NFL. 2 quarterback system does not work.
These fans booed Santa Claus.
Yes, they do.
They fans, no freaking.
They don't care.
They have no morals right now. It's like
they don't have any feelings besides winning.
This guy's car with Philly cheesesteaks. Like it's not.
Think about this. Doug Peterson brought them a Super Bowl and then fired him.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. The guy that brought you a Super Bowl to your team a year ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
You
Yeah.
cut him
Who beat Tom Brady? Yeah.
because you stop saying Tom Brady. Tom Brady's my favorite quarterback of all time. Do not offend Tom Brady. We don't Tom. We
I'm
don't offend
just. Would you like a fun fact right now? Would you like a fun fact?
Please. I always love fun facts, especially on my birthday.
Nick Foles has as many Super Bowl appearances as Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
Now, okay.
We'll get you're gonna go to, but go ahead.
I got a fun fact / comment for you.
Sure.
And I want the viewers that are listening to us live to comment on this and tell me where I'm lying. Okay? The Packers are the NFL version of Notre Dame.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is they get all the hype, right? Think about Notre Dame gets put in this top 4 every single year because of their name and pedigree and because we love to kiss them in the hiney.
Makes me sick.
But they don't deliver.
Ever.
Right?
Ever.
The Packers have not delivered.
Yeah.
The Packers are hyped every year as, oh, this is the year Aaron Rodgers does X, Y, Z. This is the year the Packers do X, Y, Z. They're going to make it to X, Y, Z place, and they always fall short of expectation. Now, again, I'm a huge Bucs fan.
Yeah.
But there is no way in the world that I have a Hall of Fame quarterback, which Aaron Rodgers will be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He will.
And on 4th and goal from the 7-yard line, you say, we're going to take the ball out of his hands. We're going to kick a field goal because we think that our defense can stop Tom Brady, 6-time Super Bowl champion, in a 2-minute situation. So the minute they kicked the field goal, I was running around the backyard.
Yeah, because he won.
I knew the game was over.
Yeah, game's over. Nobody can make sense of it for me. Now, here's a something else to add to that. You know, every Tuesday is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show.
Yes, Tuesday. That's right.
Shout out to Pat McAfee and the boys. I love the show. I love what they're doing over there. I love how they do everything. But he was on there telling him that for that drive, they allowed him to call the plays.
Which is what you've been saying the Bucs have been doing with Brady.
With Brady all the time. You do it
since the bye week.
Yeah,
since the bye week.
It's like having an offensive coordinator on the field with an arm.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Those guys have been doing it long enough. They read coverage, dissect it. They do what they want.
Right. So, and he was calling. He said, had he known that they were not going to go for it on 4th down, he would have called a different play in the 3rd.
How do you not?
The problem. And that's what got the special teams coordinator fired from the Packers. He is fired because of that. Now, I think it's the head coach that made the call, but again,
but someone's got to take the sword.
Somebody got to take the sword.
Someone's got to take the sword. It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's not going to be head coach. So you fire the special team guy who, by the way, did his job.
Yeah,
and they made the field goals.
We made the field goal.
But again, this is where so people will say it's the analytics.
Yeah,
and I'm an analytics guy, but this goes against everything I believe because analytics do not account for a Hall of Fame quarterback. It doesn't account for a Devontae Adams who cannot be stopped in one-on-one man coverage. It does not account for a Bucs defense who, by the way, eventually the Bucs will get credit once we beat the Chiefs on Sunday.
Yeah,
the Bucs will finally get credit for their red zone defense. That goes very overlooked this year, but we talked about against the Saints, right? You know, the Saints have 2 early possessions inside the 20.
Yeah.
And don't score.
Yeah. It changed the
Packers, same type of situation. They got inside the 20 on several occasions. I mean, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. Let's not, I mean, as much as we put Tom Brady on a pedestal for taking us to where we are, he also threw up 3 ugly interceptions. We were just throwing the ball up in the air.
One of them, I'm going to blame Mike Evans. I'm going to blame the one on Mike Evans for not catching the football. Went through his hands.
And that's fair. But the one that he underthrew Mike Evans and the one he just threw up in the air.
Yeah.
because a sack was coming and he was trying to get rid of it. He was trying to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah,
He
he
just
tried
didn't
to
throw it out
LeBron. He tried to LeBron flop while he did it too. So
basically.
that's why.
So, and again, and one of our viewers, again, thank you for checking out. They commented the Oklahoma Sooners as another team that doesn't live up to expectation, and absolutely right.
They're right.
They're right there with Notre Dame as far as never living up. We always say Oklahoma's going to do great. They're going to do this and the third. They've had think about Oklahoma for a second. A little bit off subject. Think about the quarterbacks that have gone through Oklahoma
and been in the league, yeah,
and done well in the NFL, but yet have never delivered a national championship game or even a national championship appearance or even a college football playoff appearance.
Is that a coaching problem or is that because I mean, yeah, you're right. Baker didn't play for them. Baker played for them. He was a Sooner, wasn't he? So Baker played. He did well. Jalen Hurts came from Alabama, went over there. He played well.
Oklahoma almost had.
I don't know. You're right. They haven't delivered anything. That might be a coaching problem. The system seems to develop good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? But can't make it in the league. USC is another one that freaking had another great batch of quarterbacks that just. I think Carson Palmer was the only one that really got him over the hump.
Yeah, Matt Leinart was hyped, never did well. Reggie Bush coming out of college was supposed to be the next Barry Sanders.
Oh yeah, Gale Sayers, all those guys. Yeah, he was supposed to be it, but they didn't do it. So I don't know, man. My problem.
And your mom is right. Your mom just commented again. Shout out to your mom for joining the show. She's still watching.
Go to bed. It's 10.
It's a championship game. You go for it on fourth down. You absolutely right. It is win or go home.
But you know what? And here's shout out to mom, okay, for raising a competitor. Do you see what I'm talking about, my mom? Do you see what I'm talking about? She was that lady in the stands when I remember getting hurt in high school football. Get your fucking ass up. Quit
being raising quitters here.
So I hurt my left hand. She goes, is it because I was playing quarterback? Yo, is it your right hand? No. All right, go shotgun and take the snaps. You're still fine. Fuck, I think it's broken. But she's right. Championship game.
Hand, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't my throwing hand.
Yeah.
So, but again, competitor. I love it. That's one thing I love about her. Yeah, you're right. It's a championship game. The season ends if you don't do this. You got to go for it. Make it make sense.
You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. I get it. If you have
Trubisky,
right? If you have Trubisky, if you have, any of these, if you have Wentz, if you have Winston, if you have Sam Darnold, if you got Derek Carr, if you got these quarterbacks, okay, sure, kick the field goal, play defense, hope that you get a stop.
How great of coaching is it that Andy Reid goes for it on 4th and 1
with Chad Henne,
with Chad fucking Henne?
Think about
That's
that.
A winning mentality.
On his own side of the 50-yard line. He's on the 40-yard line.
To secure the
up by less than 7. You give up the ball. The Browns are in phenomenal field position with a Baker that has been playing well.
He was hot. He was hot.
Lose the game. And this guy decided to run an option route, trips right, option route at Tyreek Hill, where Tyreek Hill read the coverage and ran a little sprint out, which, by the way, it was a good little 5-yard out. It's the way you teach it. It's the way you teach it.
It's beautiful. It was really beautiful. But he goes for it
with a backup quarterback, and that separates the winners from the losers.
So how many times are we going to give the Packers? Because at this rate, like you said, does Aaron Rodgers say, you know what? I can't deal with this shit. You guys don't give me weapons every single year. They did absolutely, from last year to this year, from NFC Championship last year to NFC Championship, they did absolutely nothing to
improve the roster. No. Instead, they drafted his backup or his replacement.
And you send a signal to him that your job is up here in a little bit. And that's why you haven't making comments the way he did.
The future. They're playing. But again, the Green Bay Packers did the same thing with Brett Favre.
They did.
Right? They drafted Aaron Rodgers in the first round, 21 overall.
Yeah.
When Favre was still playing pretty well.
He was fine to me. I don't know why to let him go.
So here's the future of the NFL. All right. It is now 2021, and I'm going to tell you the quarterbacks that are available.
Yeah.
Available.
This is going to be great.
Stafford.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson. Cam Newton. Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers with an asterisk.
Asterisk, maybe.
Trubisky.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Jameis. Wentz or Hurts. Sam Darnold,
Mm.
and Derek Carr. So think about that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential quarterbacks
They're going to shuffle.
that may shuffle as a year transpires before the next NFL season.
Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers in the Rams system?
Yes.
Those weapons.
Oh, and sorry, Jared Goff. Add Jared Goff to that list.
That's 11. There you go.
I
Goff.
think I think Jared Goff is gone
Yeah, I think
from
he's
the
out.
Rams. I think Sean McVay's like, yeah, this guy sucks.
You're a one-hit wonder.
We almost did better with the backup that got concussed. If it wasn't for him being a concussion, we may have won games.
Yeah.
Right? Add him to the list.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, so I'm going to go with guys that we know for sure are either free agents
Right.
or are being traded.
Okay.
First one first, Matthew Stafford. Where do you think he goes?
Here, let's ask the question. Shouldn't the Cowboys look into this? Shouldn't they look into this? Shouldn't they at least ask the question, what would it take to bring Stafford here? What do we have to do?
Stafford is nearing 30-something years of age.
Sure. Yeah.
Dak is coming off of his second year of his rookie contract. So he's been in the league now 7 years. So he's 28, 29 years old. They don't have rights to Dak. Dak is a free man because they can't franchise him again.
Yep.
He's a free man to go wherever he wants to go.
Yeah.
You have to trade for Stafford. Now, again, I think Stafford is one of the most talented, underrated quarterbacks in the league. I think Stafford, put it this way, and again, this is a bold, I'm going out here bold before we roll.
All right, I'll go out there too naked now.
You put Stafford on the Kansas City Chiefs, and there's no difference. I think they still win a Super Bowl. I think they're still playing in the Super Bowl.
Showed up and did pretty good.
Because you put Stafford with a guy like Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Andy Reid as a coach. The thing that I think Stafford's always been missing is an offensive coach. I love Jim Caldwell as the head coach for the Lions, but he was a defensive guy.
He was. He definitely was.
And it was always him and Calvin Johnson. And similar to Rodgers, they never put anything else around them to help them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because people doubled Calvin, and he would still go for 200 yards, 15 catches, and 3 touchdowns.
And maybe he had it right. Detroit was never going to help. Maybe he had it right because he didn't retire injured.
What would it take? What would it take? So back to your idea, what would it take for Dallas to acquire Stafford in your mind? Because again, they got a top 15 pick. They're not going to want to give that up for an aging quarterback on a large contract.
Stafford,
unless they think they can win now. Do you think the Cowboys think they can win now?
Well, the Bucs show that if you put all in, it'll
but the Bucs
stay off.
Okay. True.
I know what you're going to tell me because it's Tom Brady. I get it.
No,
if I'm Stafford, I'm seriously looking into the Cowboys. You know who else I would look into? I know this sounds crazy. I would look into the Bears, and I say this because you played in that division already.
The Bears are a Detroit Lions Part 2.
Bro, their defense is fine. They're a quarterback away. And
name a receiver that plays for them besides Allen Robinson.
That's it. But Julio Jones is going to be available. To me, you would go get a guy like that. Stafford needs to look into teams that have a run game.
I don't trust head coach. I don't trust head coach at Chicago.
Yeah,
he doesn't know if Nick Foles or Trubisky. I mean, that's like, I don't think he knows what day it is of the week.
I just think Dallas needs to ask the question, what are we willing to give up to get Stafford? It might not be anything. They might be like, you know what, we're not doing it. Sign Dak. I know he's good to go. They might do right by Dak, which I hope they do because he broke his ankle. I hope they take care of him.
The man. Pay the man and do the right thing, pay him a large contract and bring him back.
Shouldn't they act like, because like you just named 11 potential guys. There's NFL teams are like, well, you know what? This guy might be okay over here. We might be able to do something with this guy. You know what I'm saying? I just think they should ask the question. That's all I'm saying. They got Zeke, a good run game, 3 good receivers.
So here's a team that I think he goes to.
What's that?
The Colts.
That's another good one.
The Colts have a plus 20 pick.
Yep.
there's no quarterback or no player
Mm-hmm.
in the 20 to 30 range
Right.
that is as good or going to be as good as Stafford is today or in the next 3 years.
You don't think they give the guy, what's his name, Brisket, another shot at it?
Jacoby, they brought in Phillip Rivers for a reason. If you don't bring a guy that's 30-something years old, if you have a guy that
That's
you
young
think
enough.
is good enough
Yeah.
and
That's
is
true.
younger,
That's true.
you don't do that. So I think they believe Jacoby Brissett, which again, shout out to Florida. He's a Florida guy.
Yeah.
I don't think they think he's the answer to it at all.
So they can bring in Stafford and tell him to potentially
I
slide.
think Stafford fits. Stafford just makes a whole lot of sense.
I know Pat McAfee and the boys would love that because Pat McAfee's a huge Colts.
He's a huge.
I know he
Colts
would
fan.
love to have Stafford. He's been advocating for. I don't mean to interrupt you. He's been advocating for Carson Wentz. What does he see in Carson Wentz?
I don't know why you would want Wentz on your team.
Why
I don't
does
want his
Wentz-
contract. I don't want the player. I don't want anything to do with
this guy.
with Wentz at all. Deshaun Watson, where does he go? I know he's.
I'm praying for the Dolphins,
So
but everybody says Jets.
Dolphins or Jets are the two rumored teams of where Deshaun Watson may end up going to. For your sake, I hope he goes to the Dolphins.
Where else could he go that he'd be successful at?
Well, it doesn't matter where he could go. It's wherever Deshaun Watson wants to go because Deshaun Watson holds the card of all poker cards. Yeah. He has a no trade clause,
which is nice for you up and coming athletes.
It is. Yeah, please negotiate that in your contracts because it's like the NBA. It's like baseball. He's the only one. He's one of the few guys that has it in the NFL. Brady's the other one.
Oh, nice.
He can't be traded.
Yeah.
Right, unless he agrees to it. So Deshaun Watson has to agree to a trade in order for him to get traded. He's named the Jets and the Dolphins as his two preferred destinations. Now, the only thing that's head scratching to me, and here's why I think your Dolphins are the leading. You said the Jets. I think it's the Dolphins.
I hope it is.
Why in the world would you want to go to the Jets? There is nothing appealing.
Other than the new head coach, I agree with you.
There's nothing appealing.
What run game is there?
If anything, the Dolphins have 2 early picks in the first round. Well, they have the 4th overall pick and they have one mid level.
We have 3 and 18. We have 3 and 18. It's 3 and 18.
So there you go. Those are the 2 picks that they have in the first round. They got to give one of them up to get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So let's say they give up 18, they keep 3, or even if they give away 30 and keep 18, I think you get a quality player at 18. Definitely need a receiver, but you got a tight end, you got a med as your running back, you got a solid defense, and you have stability as your head coach. Brian Flores is a great head coach. I think him and Deshaun can sit down and talk about who's going to be the OC to replace Shane Gailey that recently retired again, hopefully forever.
That's what I'm waiting to see because.
And if I'm the Dolphins, I try to package Tua in the trade so I can keep that first round pick early on, keep both of them, give Tua away, keep the 2 picks, right? Maybe trade a second away, right, with Tua for Deshaun Watson.
Not a bad idea.
And that way you keep your 2 first because that way in the first round, now you can go get an explosive receiver, right? You can get Chase, you can get Devontae Smith, you can get any of these guys in the first round to pair up with a guy like Deshaun Watson and Devontae Parker and the tight end and the running back. So now you're building a pretty darn good offense, right, around Deshaun Watson. And you still have that 18th pick to maybe pick a lineman or a defensive lineman to help shore up one of the 2 sides. Everybody scratched their head when they got rid of Micah Fitzpatrick and they got rid of this guy and they got rid of that guy. They weren't Brian Flores guys. And you see what Brian Flores has done in the time. I think the Dolphins are the leading contender. I really think they're the only contender, but the Jets are just thrown out there for competition purposes.
I hope so, man, because everybody seems to think they're getting Deshaun Watson. They got Justin Fields on this mock draft that I saw way down there going somewhere else. You know what I mean?
That's crazy to think.
I would think it'd be the Dolphins because it's just, like you said, a better fit coaching-wise. You know what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? This guy's legit.
Secure, stable, good guy.
Right. We're going to find out in March We're going to find in March who the starting quarterback is going to be here. And I say that because when the draft comes, they're not going to draft another quarterback. So if Deshaun Watson is assigned by the end of March before that draft, they are all in on Tua. If they're all in on Tua, the number 3 pick will be Devontae Smith to the Dolphins.
Or Jamal Chase.
Or Jamar Chase. Which you're going to get something.
Or Waddle.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many receivers.
So many receivers.
It's a great receiver class.
And again, it goes back to what you said, though. Devontae Smith might not be a Brian Flores guy.
He may not.
Like, you know what? Great speed, good guy. But that's not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for this kid out of West Virginia. I'm looking at this kid for BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might go do what Bill Belichick does, because Bill Belichick drafts guys that you're like, what is it?
What does he do? What does he play?
Yeah, they contribute on freaking
special teams.
Let me ask you this: Were you bought in on Gronkowski when they drafted him? Did you even know where he played at, what he was doing? And Cosby, I had no idea. They found a 6'7" monster who's a Hall of Famer.
Tom Brady got drafted in the 6th round.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a 6-time Super Bowl champ who's about to go play for his 7th title.
That's what I'm saying. So Brian Flores might have adopted the same mentality. I don't know. But we're going to find out if Deshaun Watson is not signed with the Dolphins by March. He is going somewhere else, obviously, and they are all in on Tua. They are bought in, all in on Tua. So,
what we're going to see, it's definitely going to be very interesting. I know I brought up Brady and a Super Bowl run.
Oh, God.
Is this the best run he's had? Out of all that, because he's played, fun fact.
Yeah.
Brady's been in the league 20 some years.
Yes.
He has played in 40% of the Super Bowls in the 20 some years he's been in the league.
It's like watching LeBron James in the last 10, 15 years. He's been in NBA Finals. This guy has been in more Super Bowls as we've been watching the last 20 years than anybody else in history. It's crazy.
Not even that. His percentage of making the Super Bowl is better than Stephen Curry making a 3.
Isn't that crazy?
Think about that for a second.
Right.
Think about that for a second.
Potentially one of the greatest shooters to ever shoot.
Tom Brady
before he makes a 3.
Tom Brady has been in the Super Bowl for half of our lives.
Yes. For all my kids' lives.
For both of our kids.
Jordan, Jayden, and Jay, all they know is Tom Brady being in the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Is that not nuts?
So I don't know why people bet against him. I don't know.
And here's another thing. I was telling you this. Let me read this to the audience, and I read it to you already. Let's talk about the great Tom Brady. Tom Brady has had 3 Hall of Fame careers in one career. Let me break that up. I know it sounds crazy. Some guys have only what I'm going to read you, these stats, and that's it. And they make the Hall of Fame based off of this career alone. From 2001 to 2007, Tom Brady had 86 wins, 197 touchdowns, 26,364 passing yards in 6 years with 3 titles, bro.
3 titles in 6 years.
In 6 years. So that's somebody's career. That's somebody's whole legacy. They move on.
We would say if that person played for 6 years, had 3 titles, and retired, we'd say he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Guaranteed. First ballot, no matter what.
He's going to be doing Monday Night Football. He's going to be on talk shows, and he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? That's what he has. Here's another one. From 2008 to 2014, 73 wins, 195 touchdowns, 26,812 passing yards, 1 title. That's a
Hall of Fame career. That's a Hall of Fame career.
That's Joe Flacco's whole span at the Ravens.
By the way, Lindsay OK may have something to say about that.
She will, and she'll probably text us in the morning, and that's she'll text me later, and that's fine. Here's the other one, the one that leads up to your Bucks from 2015 to 2020.
Okay.
70 wins, 189 touchdowns, 25,946 passing yards, and 2 titles in 5 years.
All 3 of those are Hall of Fame as individual segments.
It's one of those segments, one of those little glimpses of his career of those time is like my whole career if I played in the NFL. Some guys, his worst year is some guy's greatest Hall of Fame year.
So think about it. I wonder if we compare that to Steve Young.
Wow.
Just one of those 3 segments.
Right. You could pick whatever you want.
That's
because
crazy.
3 titles in 6 years is freaking amazing.
So as we get into, so is this the best run out of those? He's been there 10 times.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 times
Jesus.
that Brady is now playing for a Super Bowl. Imagine if the guy had won
Crazy in its
all
own.
of,
That's crazy in its own. Think about what you just said there.
he's going for his 7th out of 10 titles. That is a 70% win percentage in the biggest game in the world.
To the Super Bowl 10 times. The Buffalo Bills went 4 times and couldn't get 1 title. This guy's been there 10 and won 6 of them.
That guy's been more. So it's gotten to the point where he's not compared to other players. He's compared to other organizations.
Right.
As far as appearances in games that matter.
The one that you were talking about when you alluded, you say, is this his best year? The only other year that reminds me of this year, and I was telling you this, it reminds me of this year, was when he had his first one, okay? When he made his first run in 2002 for the Super Bowl. He lost to the Rams in the regular season. They went on to win 6 to 7 games, made it to the Super Bowl, beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. This right now kind of reminds me of that. History is kind of repeating itself. He lost to the Kansas City Chiefs.
In the regular season.
He has won. He has, since the break, he has been unstoppable, and that whole defense has been beautiful. You haven't lost. Now you got to play the team that you lost in the regular season to for the title.
Yeah, at some point, I do think this is the best run that Brady's had because, right, and that's exactly what I'm about to get into. No offseason, no mini camps, no this, no
Just
that, no preseason.
Throwing over that Berkeley prep. That's all he did.
That's all he did. Shout out to Berkeley Player for allowing this to happen.
To letting him break into houses and come over there.
Right. But you think about the COVID year, new team,
yeah,
and how he was able to transform an offense, because that's what he did. Right. The Bucs still lead the NFL in passes down the field and attempts, completions, and yardage.
Yeah.
Right. And that's considering there's other guys, Mahomes, right, that also plays football pretty high level.
Yeah, pretty good.
High level. And this is all with Mike Evans really not being a guy.
A solid guy to go to. Yeah.
No, it's more been about the Brady bunch more than anything else, because you're having Godwin shows up some games, you got Antonio Brown shows up some games, you got Scotty Miller shows up some games. Which, by the way,
right,
I'm gonna get to Scotty Miller here in a second. I have a fun fact to give you about Scotty, my boy. Sure. But I think it is his best run. I think this is the best. To think about how old he is,
right,
doing what he's doing at this level. The Bucs have not lost since their bye week. The Bucs have also played, arguably, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, 3 of the top 5 defenses in the NFL, in Washington, Saints, and Packers.
That's amazing.
And somehow have managed to score 30-some points in each one.
Right.
Have somehow find a way of creating turnovers and making these Hall of Fame quarterbacks uncomfortable. We're going to break down the Bucs defense versus the Chiefs offense.
Yeah, let's do that, because there's some things in there that you guys do very well, but I think there's some things that the Chiefs do better.
I'll remind you, because I have not forgotten. Tyreek Hill in the first matchup had 7 catches.
You got to let it go.
For 200 yards.
And let me tell you, touchdowns. All your guy that you argue with me and told me, no. I went back and looked at the highlights. He was roasting the shit out of Carlton Davis.
He was.
And I know what you're telling me, like, no. Bro, he was roasting that man.
We approached that game and played man-to-man defense.
It's like Carlton Davis talked about his children, his mother, something.
Well, You would think Carlton Davis had like inside information on, Tyreek Hill, beating one of his kids again.
Fuck no. He was just getting, bro. I've never. You know what? How demoralizing it is to run a drag across the field, knowing that you can't catch this guy. He's going to catch the football, and not only that he's going to catch the football, he's going to accelerate way past you because he's going to leave you once he gets that ball. And then to see him as you're running up, jog. You know how they do that jog shit.
Stops to do a backflip into the end zone.
The disrespect.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Carlton Davis wasn't a problem? He is your only problem on that defense. Thank God that what's his name? Winfield will be back.
Yeah, Winfield will be back.
He can hide his freaking flaws. You know what I mean?
And I agree. Here's if I'm the Bucks. Now, people will argue and say, you know what? The Bucks cannot stop the Chiefs. After the first matchup, 27 points scored. Tyreek Hill goes for 265, 263.
He went nuts.
He went nuts. Here's what I will remind people. Vita Vea did not play that game.
Bro, I don't think he's going to be a problem like that.
Well, 3 offensive linemen for the Chiefs are not expected to play versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
What happened?
They've had injuries. They had injuries suffered last week, the week before against the Bills.
Yeah,
so
they'll be fine. They're going to play. You're going to the shit out those guys, and they're going to be.
So let me tell you again, the same thing. People say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to sit back there and dissect the Bucs defense the entire game. Devontae was going to go off and do all these great things. Michael Thomas was going to go off and murder the Bucs again like he's done for years. Vita Vea creating pressure up the middle is going to be again, people are going to say it's Mahomes, Brady, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, Godwin, Evans. You and I coach football.
He's okay with creating passing lanes and throwing a 25-yard out sidearm while running.
I agree with you, but
I don't know.
So here's a couple of things. A, he's had a concussion recently.
Okay.
He's battling a turf toe. I would be interested to see how he holds up after a few hits. Because Mahomes doesn't like to get hit. Mahomes is not a guy that typically gets hit.
I don't think anybody does, yeah.
So if you create pressure up the middle with Vita Vea, and now you got, JPP and more Shaq Barrett than anybody else. I haven't heard Shaq Barrett's name being called in a game in like 10 weeks. His name he had 3 sacks against Aaron Rodgers. JPP had 2 or 3 on his own. But when you go back and look at the film, it's because they got single coverage.
Yeah.
With these tackles one-on-one because you got Sue and Vea controlling the middle of the field. And Devin White and Levante David
your linebackers is the key here.
Are the 2 best duo in the NFL.
They are. Those are the guys that I'm more worried about than your deal than Vita Vea. Sue's gonna he's gonna get a sack or 2. I think he's gonna show up. I think Vita Vea does help, but I don't know, man. I have to see what this kid he's gonna move around. He's gonna create throw. Did you see when Kelsey and the guys wrapped around his legs and he still delivers a ball?
No, and those things are going to happen. So for me, if I'm a DC going into this game, I'm going to play similar to how they played Devontae Adams against Tyreek Hill, which the way the Bucs played him is they played man-to-man against Devontae Adams, right? But they played Carlton Davis underneath with the savior over the top at all times. That's how you got to play Tyreek Hill. I think you do something similar with Kelsey. The guy that I'm afraid of for the Chiefs is not Tyreek Hill, is not Kelsey. It's Hardman. Because Hardman is as shifty as quick as Tyreek Hill. He's a Tyreek Hill clone.
Yep, they can move.
Doesn't get the attention, the spotlight. And as a dark horse, Sammy Watkins.
Why not?
People forget that he even plays football anymore. People forget he plays football. He's pretty good still at it.
He's going to show up in the Super Bowl.
So I think if the Bucs can make the Chiefs drive the field, it benefits them. And again, I think the Chiefs would have a ton of yards.
I do too.
However, the Bucs in the red zone have been proven against Rodgers and Breeze that
They
they
have.
hold teams to field goals. If
Yeah.
they can do that against the Chiefs, the Bucs are going to win.
I think also the defense I think has been playing beautiful, and I do reward them for There's just some things that the Chiefs do very well that they're gonna have to just live with. You're not gonna be able to stop it. You just gotta live with it. And if you can minimize
it,
right, and you need to understand, and this is what I'm worried about your Bucks also is the game's gonna be huge. What I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's gonna tell them, but the game is huge. The emotions are gonna be huge. Do not get any stupid helmet to helmet penalties. Don't get any stupid freaking unnecessary roughness or roughing the court, because like you said, if we bash up on Mahomes, if we hit him a little bit, he'll be fine. Do not take roughing the passer penalties.
right?
Do not take on it because you allow them to live another series.
That's what you cannot have. That's how they get touchdowns.
Right.
But again, I think the Bucs play more of a prevent type of defense to burn the clock, play great red zone, hold them to field goals, and then I think the Bucs offense. And again, we're gonna break that down on our next podcast on Monday.
Yeah.
So again, tune into Monday's show. When we talk about Monday, we're gonna break down the Bucs offense against the Chiefs defense.
Right.
How the mismatches are gonna work there, because Antonio Brown is going to play. What does that mean for the Chiefs? And then Scotty Miller. So I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
Scotty Miller was asked, who would win in a race, you or Tyreek Hill?
Please do not go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Scotty Miller said he likes himself against anybody.
Get the fuck. Are you serious?
Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. I'm gonna do the Kanye West. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I know where you're going with this. Did you know? My fun fact at the end of our show is Tyreek Hill and Scotty Miller, 40 time coming out of college, are separated by 0.02.
Who had the 0.2?
Oh, the cheetah. The cheetah did.
Okay. All right. So you I know you're a Bucs fan. You think in a foot race. See this. Let me pause here for the audience and pause for everybody else. This is why I was telling you about that boring ass Pro Bowl that happens every year. Remember, I told you they need to bring back, and they kind of done. They've done that
competition.
Skills competition.
Yeah.
But you remember they had the fastest man race?
Yes.
Darryl Green, Deion Sanders. It was an amazing. Andre Rison was in there, I think. It was an amazing foot race. Deion won, but it was amazing foot race to see. We need to see this.
I agree. We need to see it. It'd be awesome to see Scotty against Tyreek Hill and Hardman for that matter. 'Cause I think Hardman is as fast.
Yeah, he can move too.
As Tyreek Hill and Scotty for that matter.
I think Tyreek gets him, bro. I do not think Tyreek. I don't think he loses to Scott. Come on, man. And I'm not. Don't disrespect to Scotty Miller. I don't want people think you're saying that because he's a white guy.
No, so Scotty is not as, because we're like, okay, George, why are you taking Scotty? You're a Bucs fan. Scotty is not as shifty.
Right.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill in the open field is a dangerous, bad man.
You're just saying straight away.
But I'm talking about in a foot race in a straight line.
I don't know.
I think it's a photo finish. Now, if you're talking about a football field, zigzagging, I mean, you watched Tyreek Hill take a play where he caught a slant route, took it 60 yards, danced all the way across the field, and it's like it was just playing.
Well, that's because, so what you're talking about for the audience, what you're talking about is the way he decelerates and reaccelerates.
Acceleration, yes.
Right.
It's control of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen
0 to 90
very quick
than anybody else in the NFL.
And I haven't seen Scotty Miller do that. But if you're talking about straight away 100 meters, who's going to win? I still think it's Tyreek Hill. I do not think.
I think it's a photo finish.
I think this is what I think. They do it like Rocky versus Apollo Creed. Nobody has to know. We're just going to take the race. We're just going to find out who's the man, and we take the race.
Tap it up, and that's it. No one ever knows.
And they do it before the. I'll do it after the Super Bowl. Nobody hurt.
You don't want to pull a hamstring.
Pull a hammy afterwards.
Yeah.
Do it another day or two. Let's see who is the fastest man. But I put my money on Tyreek Hill. Not being disrespectful to Scotty, because I believe Scotty ran a 4.3 as well. So I no disrespect to the kid, but I don't know.
Packers know how fast he is.
Oh yeah, well, you about King knows how fast he is. King also knows how fast Godwin is and Mike Evans.
Yeah. Yeah, because he allowed all three of those guys.
And what you guys did to King is exactly what these schools talk about when they say there's a no bully rule.
Yeah, we bullied that kid.
You bullied the shit. That guy's probably having therapy sessions.
He should have therapy sessions. Him and his DC should both be fired.
How do you go? I don't even know if he's married, but how do you go home
I know.
and talk to your wife after that?
I don't know.
Look her in the face and be like, yeah, I had a bad day today. Yeah, no shit. I've been getting phone calls all day about how stupid you are. You know, my friends tell me all the time.
How do you got to get behind you?
What is wrong with you right now? Everybody knows play prevent. Play prevent.
The one thing that I've learned this year, and there's one thing, as a football fan, we are going to experience for the first time ever, in my opinion, the equivalent of LeBron James versus Michael Jordan.
God, that's such a good reference, man.
We're going to see it for the first time. TB12, 6 Super Bowls, going for his 7th.
So Brady's Jordan and Mahomes is LeBron.
That's it. That's exactly it. Baby goat versus the old goat.
You know what they call baby goat?
Baby goat.
You call him kid.
Yeah.
Did you know that? So anyway, I call all these kids. But anyway, that's actually a really good analogy, man.
This is the closest we've always wanted to see. The Kobe and in their prime. You can argue that Tom Brady's still playing. Tom Brady. So
after those
throws, the season started, people were pooping, shitting. It's a podcast, my own podcast. I can say whatever I want.
You do whatever you want. Yeah.
On Tom Brady saying that he couldn't throw the ball down. He was a check down artist.
Right.
And this guy is pushing the ball down the field. He leads the NFL in completions, attempts, and yards of passes down the field.
Yeah.
Think about that. And he's playing against Mahomes, who arguably throws pretty darn good deep ball.
Well, Mahomes is almost like a freaking Ken Dorsey.
He's a magician.
Ken Dorsey, you just give the ball to the best athlete and let them go do what you got to go do. I could give a 5-yard route, dump it, and this guy's going to take it 90 yards, and it's still going to be added to my passing yards.
I agree with you, but Mahomes is the X factor because he understands coverages. His arm mechanics are out of this world. How he anticipates windows being thrown. I mean, there was a throw that he threw between two guys before Kelsey was even remotely in the window.
Yeah.
Over the ball being thrown. As soon as he got the window, the ball was in his chest. You can't teach that. You can't practice that.
Right. You can't simulate it with a scout team.
No, there's no way. You don't have anybody on your team that, because he'd be your starting quarterback if he could simulate practice.
He should be. Yeah.
On Monday, we're going to break down Brady's offense.
Yeah, we are.
The Chiefs' defense. And what I think will be a shootout of the ages.
Yeah.
We're going to break it down Monday. And then on Thursday's show, we're going to give you who we actually think. I know everybody knows where I'm going, but we'll find out what Raul's thinking.
Yeah.
I need you, before you get to Thursday, I need you to pick against the Bucs because so far you're 0-3 and the Bucs have won each time you pick against them. So
yeah,
I know where you're going to be at.
You need that. Okay.
But again, man, we've been at it for an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah, we have been. Yeah, it's time to go. Yeah.
It's been a great show.
Yeah, man.
What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts is, man, everybody be safe. Don't do nothing too wild. Enjoy yourself at the NFL experience on Friday. Tomorrow they're gonna have Friday they're gonna have. That's when it's gonna start.
It's going on for the next 2 weeks.
Right. So be
I'm
safe.
going on Sunday.
Enjoy yourself. Let me tell you something. It's electrifying whether you're a Bucs fan or not. It's electrifying to have the Super Bowl in your city. It's electrifying, man. And Tampa is a beautiful, beautiful city. So I'm gonna tell you what, man. My thoughts are, it's a great podcast with you. I can't wait for the next one to break it down. We're going to go even more into it. If anybody wants to join the show, just like we did tonight, we're going to send out links. You're more than welcome to come join us, debate, talk with us. Will McDonald had to unexpectedly go take care of something, so he couldn't join us, but we're going to make sure he comes back. If you need anything, don't call me, but make sure you're good to go. Wear your mask and take care of each other.
Again, appreciate all the birthday shout-outs to everybody. Thank you again for those. Again, if you want to follow the podcast, hit subscribe down there. Hit subscribe. That way you get notified when the show is free. Again, that way you get told. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. You can ask Alexa, iHeartRadio. It's coming soon on Pandora, Google Play, wherever you listen to a podcast, we are there. You want to join the debate, chat with us, talk with us. We have a Facebook group, On the Clock Radio as well. Until next time, you're on the clock.